Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest Bitcoin technical analysis as well as the 5 things to watch out for in Bitcoin this week. And quoting Max Kaiser, just like Michael Saylor is gaming the central banks to increase his Bitcoin stack with a speculative attack, we're doing the same by gaming the rating agencies, referring over there in El Salvador. We'll also be discussing now 75% of the Bitcoin has not moved in the past 6+ months. HODL gang, where you at? We'll also be discussing the latest with why Bitcoin is likely mirroring the 2019 price action, according to this crypto analyst, as well as spot Bitcoin ETFs gain traction as institutional investors spike in Q2. We'll also be discussing U.S. government can manipulate Bitcoin if it stockpiles 4 million BTC, warns macro guru Raoul Pal. And also Chamath P, the billionaire, predicts Bitcoin can soar 1,600% to $1 million per coin by next year in 2025. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, important to smash the likes, then subscribe, and then hit the bell icon to turn on all notifications so you get notified each and every day when I go live. Today is pod episode 1735. I'm your host, JV. It is August 19th, 2024. Market is currently correcting. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. Bitcoin down 2.5%, trading at 58,600. We have Ether down almost 4%, maintaining 2,500. It's ironic because since the launch of the Ethereum ETF, I think the Ether price action's down like 25-30%. Pretty mind-boggling, right? Solana is down 2%, and virtually everything except XRP, Tron, and Polkadot and BNB are in the red. So checking out CoinMarketCap.com, we're continuing to decline. We're barely sitting above a 2 trillion total crypto market cap. The all-time high, I believe, is just north of 3 trillion. So we're a trillion less from that all-time high. And the Bitcoin market cap is all the way down to 1.1 trillion, which is mind-boggling to me considering how big the total addressable market is. But anyways, Bitcoin dominance 55.9%. The Ether dominance really low, all the way down to 15%. It's probably going to get right back in the 14% range by tomorrow if things don't change. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. We got Neo, and I'm not talking about Neo from the Matrix. We got Tron. And I ain't talking about Megatron. And we got Monero up 2%. Below that, very modest gains as the majority of the market is correcting and in the red. But let me know which alts you're most bullish on for the bull. And checking out crypto bubbles. As you can see on the daily, man, Rex City, maybe 85-90% of the market. Bloodshed today. Zooming out on the monthly, it gets worse. Man, 95% of the market, total bloodshed. A lot of your favorite alts down 10, 20, 30, 40, 50+%. Gets real. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Today we're at 28 fear, yesterday 31, last week at 25 extreme fear, and last month at 74 greed. I think we need to drop a little lower back to extreme fear so we get a nice pump right back above 60 G's. Baby. And here's the time chain calendar. It shows you we're on block number 857,491. So we got quite a lot of blocks to go until the next halving event, which I believe is scheduled to take place sometime in April of 2028. It all goes by the blocks, family. This is pretty cool little metric. If you guys want to check it out, there's a lot of data on it. It's timechaincalendar.com. So enjoy. And also I like that it shows you right now, $1 is equivalent to 1,707 Satoshis. That's pretty lit. You can get 1,700 Satoshis per dollar. So stack those stats, family. Let's flow into our technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. The headline here reads, a return to 50 G's, and we'll also share the 5 things to watch out for the Bitcoin market this week. A lot going on. Number 1, no talk of the Bitcoin price upside. Oh no. The Asia trading session offered little hope for the bulls, with Bitcoin trading at 58.6 at the time of this recording as per TradingView, and I will be pulling up the live charts here shortly. This is the 1-hour chart. Now, according to the analysts here, boring weekend price would probably chop for another week before you get any big moves. Bitcoin has chopped for the last 160, 170 days. This is more painful than a bear market. Womp womp. And a fellow trader, Roman, agreed while seeing the potential for a return to 55,000, quoting him here. Slowly but surely making our way to 55,000 support. We'll look for longs at that point. I have kept my thoughts the same for the last 2 weeks as the original uptrend was pretty weak. Now, another one shared, if you missed this move, you could likely be able to buy back at those levels again, referring to the low 50s. As pointed out here, two targets, 53,600 and 51,500. Now, I'm not so optimistic. I don't think we're going to return that low, but again, you just never know. Will Bitcoin reclaim 60 or go all the way back and retest 50? Let me know your thoughts. He also shares we can see a fake out above it at the start of the week and then drop to that new wick of 56 G's, baby. Next thing to watch out for this week, markets await Jerome Powell's Jackson Hole appearance. That's right. Risk asset traders are focused on the U.S. Fed's Jackson Hole symposium as markets demand cues on handling inflation. Don't worry, family. They claim inflation is totally under control at under 3%. You and I know, believe nothing that comes out of Jay Powell's mouth, and especially when they try to tell you that inflation is tamed and has never looked better and that the economy is strong and the U.S. dollar's never been stronger. I'm not, like women who have abortion, I'm not having it. You understand? Lamestream media, I'm not having it. I digress. Quoting them here, it's an event attended by the central bank leaders from around the world, and it usually brings volatility. And shout out Cannabis. He was one of my favorite rappers when I was younger, and that was a punchline of his. Like women who have abortion, I ain't having it. Anyways, this year, Powell will speak about the upcoming rate cuts. And shout out Eminem. There's a punchline in one of his, I think his original EP before he even became famous. And he said in a rap, and I was like dissing my brother the other day, just family love. And I'm like, bro, you can date a stick of dynamite and still couldn't go out with a bang. So I got all the punchlines today. Anyways, hot take, Powell could say that the 50 BBS cut in September is not on the table ATM. Next factor to watch out this week, Bitcoin miners halt wallet outflows. Optimism surrounding Bitcoin miners continues this week as one on-chain metric shows Bitcoin sales cooling. In one of the quick take blog posts on the 19th, on-chain analytics platform CryptoQuant showed the Bitcoin reserves in known miner wallets beginning to stabilize. Quoting Crypto Dan, miners have been selling their Bitcoins through over-the-counter transactions and exchanges until recently. But since the end of July, they have shown no signs of selling. And despite the recent significant price drawdown, the miners have not yet been forced to reassess profitability despite their production cost per Bitcoin being close to the current spot price. CryptoQuant Marty Party shared, miner reserves are now at the January 2021 level. So they're at lows, family. The miner sell-off appears complete. Let's go. Now, next factor, Bitcoin market dominance falters. Bitcoin share of the total crypto market cap has seen its latest macro peak. According to traders, having hit nearly 58% earlier this month, Bitcoin dominance is wavering, and ultimately the alts should benefit. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin market dominance one-day chart. Quoting Mikey Bull. Bitcoin dominance on its final wave of completion. He also is predicting a big crash in the index to ignite an altcoin renaissance in Q4. The chart employed a Elliott wave theory you can see here to suggest a return back below the 50% mark for the dominance, which currently stands at around 57%. Now, quoting Calio, real alt season begins when the Bitcoin dominance breaks beneath 50%. And next factor, bearish sentiment with trend line is out of reach. That's right, the Bitcoin sentiment is firmly bearish thanks to the price returning below the key long-term trend line. Some of the analysts concluded. CryptoQuant contributor shared that he sees problems potentially arising due to Bitcoin giving up the 200-day simple moving average, which is currently at 62,750. Bitcoin price is trading below the 200-day simple moving average, which formally indicates a bearish sentiment. And another analyst says the nearest support level is the 365 simple moving average at 50 Gs, hence why a lot of analysts are anticipating a retest in the low 50s, family. But let me know your thoughts. And as I pointed out already earlier, crypto greed and fear index is a fear 28 level. Once we break 25 again, we'll be in extreme fear and most likely pump. That's just usually what happens in the market. Quoting Max Kaiser, just like Mikey Saylor is gaming the central banks to increase his Bitcoin stack with a speculative attack. We're doing the same by gaming the rating agencies. Amen. Shout out El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. And 75% of the Bitcoin has not moved in the past 6 months. HODL gang, where you at? Also, breaking news, Italiano bank, Banca Sella, now offers Bitcoin services directly on its banking platform. Italy, please stand up. Please stand up. Also, Bitcoin bull run begins. A new target to 210,000 according to the analysts. Can you see it? Can you smell it? Can you taste it? Can we speak it into existence? 210. Let's go. And in other news, a 10% energy boost was achieved across all of our geothermal plants simply by recycling the water vapor. Nayib Bukele is a genius. Feels like a life hack. Shout out Bukele. And also distribution of the Bitcoin supply. Satoshi's wallets collectively have 1.1 million BTC. Binance 550 thou. BlackRock 305 thou. Coinbase 294 thou. Grayscale 263 thou. MicroStrategy 226 thou. US government 213 thou. Chinese government 190 thou. Fidelity 181 thou. And Block 164 thou. So there you freaking go. So yeah, we're currently sitting above 58,600. This is a live chart, live and in the flesh via TradingView, via Coinbase. We do have a target sitting all the way down at 47,700. Again, that's the daily. Let's zoom in a little to the hourly and then we'll work our way back out. So here we go in the hourly chart. We do got quite a few targets. We got one sitting at 64,200 and inverted head and shoulders. We do have a right shoulder sitting a little lower around 55. We do have a target in the orange sitting at 53.4, and then we have one all the way south at roughly 42,000. Let's check out the 4-hour chart, family. 4-hour chart, no particular target. We did get that big red candle. Probably, I don't know if that was last night or yesterday, but clearly that's what took us back down. And then zooming out a little more, we already checked out the 1 day. So let's go to the 1 week. And we should still have that epic cup and handle pattern, as you can see, with a target sitting at $125,000. Send it. I think that's in play for this year, 2024. Let me know if you agree or disagree. And zooming out, we'll check out the 1 month chart. No particular targets. We've had a lot of sideways trading action past several months. But prior to that, we did have 7 consecutive green candles, but we'll see where we're likely to head next. That's right. 75% of all the Bitcoin has been hodled for over 6 months. Where my diamond hands, laser eyes at, holla. Around 3/4 of all the circulating Bitty hasn't been moved in the past 6 months or more, according to on-chain data. Findings from Glassnode's HODL wave chart, which uses the blockchain data to give a macro view of the Bitcoin held in wallets based on the time since it last moved. As you can see here, the data shows 74%. Another divine number. You know what I mean? Because 7 plus 4 equals 11. Just want to point that out. I love 7s and 4s and 8s and 3s and all that good stuff. But anyways, they have been stationary for the most of 2024. These hodled assets of biddies, despite the asset falling 21% from the all-time high. The dominance of the older coins suggests that the longer-term investors are increasingly hodling onto their Bitcoin as a store of value, possibly anticipating future price increases. Duh, it has number go up technology. The hodling trend also reduces the supply of the Bitty available for the trading, potentially leading to price appreciation as the demand increases. Supply is squeezed. Meanwhile, we have analyst James Check observed that more than 80% of the Bitcoin short-term hodlers are underwater as their holdings were acquired at higher than the current spot prices. Well, here's the good news. You can't lose what you don't sell at an unrealized loss. As soon as you sell it at an unrealized loss, it becomes a realized loss and a real loss. So keep that in mind. Just hodl, family. He cautioned that this could lead to further downsides if they panic sell, which would be the sucker move, as they did in the previous years. Short-term hodlers are those who have held Bitcoin for fewer than 155 days. According to the analysts here, this is similar to 2018, 2019, and mid-2021, which signaled many investors were at risk of panicking and precipitating a bearish trend. So don't be that guy, family. Now, broader market sentiment is still bearish. I pointed out earlier the Crypto Greed and Fear Index currently at 28 in fear. Meanwhile, Bitcoin price top 60,000 late weekend trading. However, oh, that's right. We did reclaim it, but it was very temporarily lived, and then we drop right back under it. However, it's since reiterated sharply, falling to 58.6. where we're currently at. So there you have it, yo. Let's discuss Bitcoin repeating a 2019 pattern, according to this analyst, Benjamin Cohen. That's right. In a new interview with financial and tech YouTuber David Lin, crypto strategist Benjamin Cohen says the social risk metric indicates that the King Crypto is following in the footsteps of its price action from 2019. That's right, yo. How many of you were in Bitcoin back in 2019? Holla. According to Cohen, the number of the people watching the crypto YouTube channels has dipped significantly. I'll attest to that because my traffic is down like 90%, signaling that it could reverse course and rally as it did in 2021. I'm so ready. Quoting them here, I think it is more similar to 2019, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One reason is if you go look at one of the one-on-one metrics I follow, the social interest in the crypto space, which is essentially made up of like people that watch crypto YouTube channels, you'll see that back in 2021, when we had this mania phase, you can see a ton of the people are piling in to watch the crypto YouTube. Some channels were averaging at the time about 4 million views per day. And now those same channels are only averaging 850,000 views per day. Hey, it makes me feel a lot better about myself because I'm not alone. Thank you. You can go back and look at the social risk. You can see the social risk came down to a low and then it bounced. It looks very, very similar to me like in 2019. He goes on to note that the crypto markets have yet to see the same mania displayed in 2021 as the retail investors have yet to return to the industry. Quoting him again, I don't really think that we just experienced what we just experienced was a 2021 style mania phase because retail never really returned. Good point. Which has been one of the interesting things. It has been one of the really confusing things about the market, I think, for a lot of the people, because Bitcoin went to all-time highs, but we never really saw that return of retail. And again, one more piece of evidence to suggest that 2019 is not the worst comparison. It is actually a very similar move in terms of percentage. If you were to take the price range from the low in 2018 to that 2019 top, about a 350% rally, same thing we just saw from the rally in 2022 until early 2024. And he makes a lot of good points here. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the analyst, fam. Our next story of the day, let's discuss the Bitcoin ETF. Headline reads, spot Bitcoin ETFs gain traction as institutional investors spike in Q2. That's right. Popular market expert and host of the YouTube channel Crypto Banter cited a positive development around the spot Bitcoin ETFs, highlighting institutional ownership of the spot Bitcoin ETFs have increased significantly during the year's second quarter, fueled by renewed faith in the digital asset and growing optimism in the community. According to the expert, the institutional holdings of the spot Bitcoin ETFs increased by over 27% within the time frame, indicating rising adoption around these specific investors. As these investors desire more access to Bitcoin through sophisticated methods, the products seem to have become the favorite vehicle for profiting from the future growth of BTC. Data from K33, a smart beta index for the crypto assets, found that on June 30th that there were over 1,199 companies. Why not just say 1,200? There's over 1,199 companies. Well, I guess because 11's a divine number, of course, JV, that entered the spot Bitcoin ETF markets in the US, having gained about 262 new firms. The market expert noted that this rise is evidence of a surge in institutional trust in digital currencies and their potential for growth and revolutionizing the financial landscape. Quoting the post here, Bitcoin ETFs experienced a 27% surge in institutional ownership in quarter two. K33 research revealed, well, I guess I already read this stuff to you. So this increase in institutional investors around the fund might be attributed to the recent optimism around the BTC, as speculations about a major price upswing continue to swell. Well, that's particularly because of where we're at in the halving cycle. We had a halving April 19th, and typically we run up like, the year preceding the halving, I forget the exact amount of days, like 280 days or 380 days. And so we're in that pocket right now, family. The analysts also highlighted that the Bitcoin whales, also known as the large crypto asset hodlers, have been consistently increasing their Bitcoin holdings, indicating a probable rise in the price. Yeah, absolutely. He pointed to the rise of the whale ratio despite the current market volatility since Japan's stock market crashed to the yen earlier in the month. Specifically, this metric shows how much the total quantity of Bitcoin is held by the top addresses and has increased significantly. In fact, I shared and broke down that metric with you yesterday on the pod with the demonstration or the illustration that showed you all the different Bitcoin hodlers and wallets and so forth. The expert is confident about the potential rise of the value of the Biddy, as a price surge is frequently preceded by this heightened accumulation stage, particularly following the Bitcoin halving events. And furthermore, he claims that the prices may rise shortly due to the recently concluded halving event, which is precisely what I've been saying. Exactly. You ain't seen nothing yet. If you think we've already reached the cycle peak, you're in for a rude freaking awakening. Family, we're just getting started in this mofo. I think Q4 is going to be pretty lit in my personal and humble opinion. And I think 2025 cycle peak, multiple six figures. My personal bear scenario, 222 G's, baby. And my bull scenario, 750 G's, baby. What are your thoughts? Holla at your boy. Let's get it. Next story of the day. Let's discuss the latest from Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal discussing United States stockpiling 4 million Bitcoin, which is something I believe that came from RFK Jr. when he spoke at Nashville, one of his promises if he is elected prez. And then we'll dive into a $1 million price prediction from billionaire Chamath P. And for those that didn't know, I don't know if he still holds 1 million Bitcoin, but like back in 2013, a very long time ago, Chamath P purchased 1 million Bitcoin. And I don't know if he still holds it, but if he does and Bitcoin hits $1 million, what's $1 million times 1 million Bitcoin? I'm pretty sure it equals the first trillionaire in the world, right? Satoshi's wallet will become trillionaire status when Bitcoin's $1 million because he has 1.1 million Bitcoin, potentially the high priest. That's a mystery, of course, but this is pretty fascinating. Headline reads, U.S. government can manipulate the Bitcoin if it stockpiles 4 million BTC, warns macro guru Raoul Pal. That's right. The ex-Goldman Sachs exec believes the U.S. government accumulating millions of the Biddy is not all good news for Bitcoin. During the recent 2024 Bitcoin conference in Nashville, how many of you watched the speeches from RFK Jr. and Trump? Let me know. Independent presidential candidate RFK Jr. said that his administration would stockpile 4 million Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset if he won the election. And at that same event, we had Senator Cynthia Lummis, who I believe was the guest speaker after Trump, announced that she proposed a bill that will drive the U.S. government to accumulate 1 million BTC, which is roughly 5% of the Bitcoin total supply within 5 years. But Macro Guru is concerned about the potential behavior of the U.S. government once it builds a huge Bitcoin trove. In a discussion with Skybridge Capital founder, the Mooch, Skyrocket, Powell says the government has a history of abusing its power, and having a big BTC reserve puts it in a position to greatly influence the Bitcoin price action. Quoting him here, yes, it's good for the crypto market, but there's yet another buyer. But it's also weird because Bitcoin was set up to try to replace the government's control over money. And now you're inserting the government as one of the largest buyers of private money. I don't really like that, actually. If the government can manipulate it, they can dump it onto the market. They could buy more, and before you know it, they're using it like they are interest rates and controlling regular money. And we don't want that. And I actually give you some real world scenarios, like just hypotheticals. Hypothetically speaking, Trump gets reelected, United States of America stockpiles a bunch of Bitcoin. Let's just say they have millions in their reserves. Next presidential election, 2028, obviously Trump can't be reelected. Someone else is reelected and ends up being Biden's son. I don't even know if Biden has this. Oh yeah, Hunter Biden. Why not? Hunter Biden becomes president, if not Big Mike. We just don't know. Again, speculation. Bear with me. And then they dump all the Bitcoin and weaponize the Bitcoin because they don't like it and they want to hurt Bitcoiners because it goes against the central banking cartel's best interests of a strong dollar. Bitcoin is the Achilles heels to the central banking cartels. Bitcoin kills the central bankers. Do you think they want to kamikaze themselves by adopting Bitcoin for the U.S. government? No. Would they weaponize it? Abso-freaking-lutely. Can they confiscate all the Bitcoin from the ETFs? Absolutely. Have they confiscated gold before? Absolutely. 1933. Look it up. So it all depends if you trust your government. I stopped trusting the government after 9/11. Now for our feature story of the day. Billionaire Chamath P predicts Bitcoin can soar 1,600% to reach 1 million per coin in 2025. So this particular cycle, I'm going to read this to you. Welcome, everyone, just joining the stream. So yeah, Chamath P, billionaire and co-founder of Social Capital, has made a bold prediction that Bitcoin could reach 500,000 to 1 million by late 2025, 1 year out. How would that transform your life, crypto fam, if Bitcoin was 250,000, even 500,000, 1 million, whatever, by next year? Obviously, that's a big increase. If achieved, it represents 760% increase from the current price of around 58 Gs. Chamath P, known for his early investment in Bitcoin, believes the crypto's value could eventually hit 1 million, which is 1,600% surge, potentially giving Bitcoin a market cap exceeding $21 trillion, which is ultimately a 21x, as we're just above, what, 1.1 trillion, as I pointed out earlier today during our market watch, surpassing gold's current market cap of 17 trillion. And something Max predicted the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before, which I shared on the pod. He said for every dollar gold increases, Bitcoin will increase $20, ultimately saying Bitcoin will continue to at least 20x the price of gold. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. And Digital Crypto Nomad pointed out, why do financial experts believe Bitcoin can hit 1.5 million? The crypto world's a buzzing, and some of the experts are making bold predictions about the future. Can we really see the Bitcoin skyrocket to 1.5 million? Let me know your thoughts. Now, Chamath P's belief in Bitcoin is backed by his long-term investment in the crypto back in 2011. So back in 2011 is the year he purchased 100,000 Bitcoins. Jesus, at an average price of $100. Wow. So I think that means for $1 million, he got 100,000 Bitcoin. Can someone run the math? How much is 100,000 Bitcoin worth today at 60 Gs? Good Lord. By 2013, he held approximately 5 million in Bitcoin and expressed a willingness to invest an additional 10 to 15 million. As Key points out here, Dowbod, 24.5 million millionaires in the US, 59 million millionaires in the world, 21 million Bitcoin supply, 6 million Bitcoin lost forever, Laura. It is impossible for every millionaire to own 1 Bitcoin. There are many people that aren't millionaires that own at least 1 Bitcoin. And here's for the question. One moment as it's opening up. What do you think happens when suddenly all of these millionaires and other laymen want to get their hands on some bitty? In the words of Michael Saylor, it's going up forever, Laura. So there you have it, yo. It's going up forever. You heard it first. Right here. Despite spending some of the holdings on real estate, so he did dip into some of it. Chamath remains bullish, predicting Bitcoin could effectively replace gold and become a significant reserve asset. And here's the catalyst on why he believes Bitcoin will surge. He attributes the Bitcoin potential rise to 2 main factors: the halving event and the growing adoption as a reserve asset. The Bitcoin halving, which occurs every 4 years, reduces the reward for the mining new blocks, tightening the supply and historically leading to new price increases. He suggests that if the Bitcoin replicates its gains from the previous halvings, it can reach 500,000 to even a milli per coin. And additionally, the recent approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs, which officially went live January 11th, roughly 7 months ago, makes it easier for the institutions and retail investors to access the crypto, potentially driving demand. Bitcoin's market cap might eventually rival gold's, he even suggests, which is again at 17 trillion, which would be a 17x from the current Bitcoin market cap of 1 trillion, emphasizing the digital currency's potential to become the world's most valuable asset, which we all know is only a matter of time. Now for some 3 quotes and insights. Bitcoin could eventually hit 1 million, surpassing gold's 17 trillion market cap, says Chamath P, highlighting the crypto's potential. And he also said Bitcoin has effectively replaced gold. He declared that in 2021, reiterating his long-term belief in the digital asset. So there you have it, yo. Let me know your thoughts. Can you see a 500,000, 1 milli, somewhere in between by 2025? This particular cycle, holla at your boy.